Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. You all right?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks.
It's Friday again. Woo!
Yeah, it is. Fantastic.
TFI Friday, everybody.
Yeah, thank God for that. Yeah. Although it won't be long before it's Sunday evening, and we're all saying, oh, God's sake, I haven't even sorted out a shirt.
Shirts? You wear
Shirt.
shirts? I don't wear shirts.
No, I don't wear shirts.
No.
Just a vest and
A Cheetos stained string vest.
Short
is
shorts.
That
What?
it? A Cheetos stained string vest.
yeah.
Or beer stained string vest. How's
Yeah.
that?
Or,
Yeah.
or what's it, as we might.
Yeah, what's this?
Cool.
Well, I'm trying to cater for the US audience as well. But yeah. Anyway, how's it going?
Okay, thanks.
Wonderful.
How is everyone? I didn't even wait to find out if you're okay.
No,
Sorry, how are you? How are
I'm-
you? And how are you? How's your health? What are you? What are you doing?
Are you okay? You having a stroke?
No. Are you?
No.
Then I'll take it for granted that you're okay.
Yeah.
What about the people in the chat? Are you in the chat? Are you okay? Are you listening at home, feeling fine? Get in the chat, get in the comments, let us know.
Is anybody out there? That's the question.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no good. Apart from a slight razor slice on my face from earlier on today, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I was rushing to prepare myself for the show, and I just caught the top of my cheek there.
Okay. That's quite high up, actually.
Yeah.
Are you like, if you're left untamed, are you like a werewolf?
I'm not.
Werewolf?
No, I just
And
started too high up, and
Yeah.
well, it's like, so my mustache, it does actually grow like up the side of my nostrils if I'm not careful. So I
Really?
do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do trim
If you're
those
not
bits.
careful. You got to be careful with these things.
Yeah, you absolutely got to
Yeah,
be careful.
you look
yeah.
away for 1 minute, and the next thing you know, you got a moustache that goes all the way around your nose.
Yep. With great mustache comes great responsibility.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
Yes.
sorry, my camera's wobbling again. I do need to figure something out on my camera because
Yeah, you do. You're making me seasick. What's going on?
I fart and it wobbles. So yeah, that's the.
Yeah.
But maybe that's because I kind of like lean over. See, there you go. See, it's wobbling again. It doesn't help. So right, so this is a bit of a compound issue, right? So it's the floor that is in this room is not particularly solid. It's a raised floor because it's got pipework going underneath it for the central heating and stuff. So it's a raised floor, so it's not particularly stable anyway. And then my desk is a sit-stand desk, so it goes up and down, which means it's only on like one leg on either side, so it's not particularly well balanced.
Okay. Yeah.
So then, of course, when the floor moves, when I move, that means the desk wobbles, which means that the pole that the camera is sat on also wobbles.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's just a bit wobbly around here.
You're having a bit of a wobble.
Yeah, having a wobble.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. Who's not wobbling? It's the regulars. We've actually got the people in the chat.
The regular chatters. Hi, regular chatters. Who we got? Ruby. Good evening, guys. All good here. Great. Glad to hear it.
Yeah, that's good
And
stuff.
Bex gives us a wave.
Excellent.
Hi, Bex. So, hi, Ruby.
Yeah.
Hi, anyone else that's watching? There's 3 other people watching right now, so
3. Well, let's see if we can increase that slightly.
yes.
Yeah.
Right, providing quality
I'll just say
content.
something positive.
Yeah, but let's provide quality content for a Friday afternoon / evening / night.
I'd not planned for that. I thought we were going to do what we normally do.
Chat shit. For 2 hours.
We should have said. Anyway, right. Oh, Ruby's coming in with more and saying, in other words, you need to become a statue, CJ, and not move.
I feel like
referring to your wobbling.
Yeah. What kind of pose should I go for? Should I should we go for serious, or should I be a moose and put my hands? I don't know. What do you want?
Yeah.
I was fine until I heard that Ted owns a wetsuit stained string vest.
Wetsuit?
What? Wetsuit? Or do you? Okay.
Wetsuit's dangerous. Oh,
Cheetah. What's it? So I think it's supposed to say what's it. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I meant to say what's it. Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, I haven't got a wetsuit or what's it stained vest. But I do have a Cheeto stained wetsuit.
Yeah, well, there you go.
But the less said about that, the better.
Well, what you do in your spare time is entirely your business, Ted. And now the business of the internet.
Can I just talk about wetsuits for a moment?
Sure.
Have you ever CJ? Have you ever worn a wetsuit?
I've never worn a wetsuit.
Well, I tell you what, they're quite figure hugging.
Yeah.
And
that's why I have not worn a wetsuit.
Right. Okay. I'll tell you what else is quite figure hugging.
Mm-hmm.
If it were a tunic. So I'm talking about a military tunic.
Okay. Yep.
So imagine, if you will, a situation where I'm wearing a wetsuit and I think to myself, my goodness, this was a hell of a job to get into this wetsuit. By the way, when you see James Bond and he'd get out and he was wearing a wetsuit and he'd to strip off and he had he was wearing a dinner jacket underneath. That wasn't that was a dry suit. That
would have been a dry suit. Yep.
Okay, but this isn't interesting. I don't know why I'm saying it, but I was wearing a wetsuit. I think I was just trying it on, going, does this wetsuit still fit? And I got it on, and it really does help suck things in.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Anyway, so I'm wearing this wetsuit, and then I'm looking into the wardrobe, and I thought, oh, I wonder. So out I get my tunic, heavy because of all the medals, obviously.
Obviously.
No, this was before. Anyway, so I put it on. Guess what?
What?
Fitted a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Now we happen to know somebody who I won't name.
I know exactly who you're going to say and what you're going to say. Sorry, everyone. I'm just laughing preemptively there, but there is a funny story. Yeah. Go ahead.
So our mutual friend, who I will call
the train driver,
William. Yeah. So anyway, he is known. He's quite well known. Well known for when he needs to get into a dress uniform. In days of old, he would actually use cling film.
Yeah, he would.
A whole roll of cling film.
Yeah,
and yeah.
When he told me that,
what do the Americans call that?
Saran wrap.
Saran wrap, and they'd use that, and he'd wrap it around himself until he was about one size smaller, just to get himself into his
cling wrap uniform. Yourself thin. There's clearly a marketing idea there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Forget about weight loss pill. What's the latest thing? Injections for weight loss. Forget about fad diets. Forget about exercise. Cling wrap yourself thin, everyone.
Yeah,
that's the way forward.
Yeah. CJ.
Yes, Ted.
So I was going off to one side then. CJ, you're a man of corpulence. Do you ever get do you ever get the adverts that I do? So it's not just me saying you. Do you ever get the adverts for these vests? Now we're talking about vests. You can get like a vest. Of course, they call it tanks because it's American.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thanks. You're welcome. Anyway, these
Thanks for the memories.
these vests that you get, and they suck everything in.
Mm.
I don't think they'd be quite as effective as a wetsuit. But I look at the adverts. I'm slightly tempted.
So, in an attempt to squeeze into a dress uniform once, I did actually buy some of these. They're basically just made of elastic,
Right.
and it's designed to kind of hold everything in or flatten everything down. Yeah, I mean, I have a big gut and love handles and all that kind of. So I purchased this thing to try and suck everything in, so I could also fit into my tunic. It did not work. The compression didn't match whatever the opposite of compression is of my gut, and it just didn't help. All it did was make me very uncomfortable, hot and sweaty, and I thought I was going to pass out.
Yeah.
That's all it did. Because of how it was worked. So like the hem is that what's on the bottom of a t-shirt? Is it the hem? It's not a cuff because cuffs are on the sleeves.
Yeah, it'd be a hem.
Yeah. So the hem was actually so tight that it was cutting into my waist, and I thought I was going to pass out.
Okay.
So I never used it again, and promptly threw it in the bin. But I have seen them, but I think they're kind of coming back, and I've seen some ads on Facebook, and I can't remember the brand. But again, they're designed for bigger people, and like you say, it's supposed to kind of flatten everything down to be flattering, no pun intended. But also because the problem that big people have is generally to get a t-shirt that's big enough to go over your gut or whatever, the sleeves are like super baggy.
Yeah.
So this company that I saw, it's not only is it a flattering fit on the body, but it also then is also quite tight around the arms to make them look better as well. So it just doesn't look like you're wearing a tent. Because that one of the problems with my work t-shirts, again, because I'm a big guy, I have to have big t-shirts, and a lot of the time it looks like I'm wearing a tent.
Yeah.
And it's not flattering at all. And I actually never wear them out of the house. I never wear them to go anywhere. I actually do put a shirt on when I go out for meetings and things like that, because I don't think these t-shirts are flattering in any capacity. They're literally just, I'm working from home, I'm comfortable, wear, that's what they are. But yes, I do know the ones you're talking about.
Okay, so they don't work. So either get yourself a wetsuit or a supply of cling film.
Yep. Cling film, that's the way forward, everyone.
There's your answer. Tips and hints for the corpulent on the Tuesday show podcast on a Friday. Yes. What? No, that's I'm reading old chat here.
Yeah, the chat's gone a bit quiet. So
it's gone quiet. Get back in the chat and tell us about your experiences with cling film.
Well, I was just about to ask for weight loss tips and tricks from the chat to see what they do, what works for them, and what doesn't, and let us know, because I am on a weight loss journey myself. Tomorrow is weigh-in day. Yeah. So a colleague from work and I have challenged each other to lose weight.
You're having a weigh-in?
Yeah, so we have a weigh-in every week. Yeah, we have a weigh-in every week. Way. Yeah, we have a weigh-in every week now. It started on New Year's Day, which I know was a Wednesday, but then we measured on Saturday, last Saturday. So now we're doing this Saturday. We basically said we'll do every Saturday morning. So I know I'm going to have gained weight this week. I just know I have. It's been a really rough couple of days at work, and I definitely was eating my feelings this afternoon. So I know I've put weight on, and I accept that. There's a hurdle or there's a bump. I'll get over it. And I'll just pick up again. From now. So yeah. But yeah, if anyone's
how long have you been doing it?
Since New Year's Day, so a week and a half.
Right. So how many weigh-ins have we had so far?
2. So we did the initial weight on New Year's Day.
Yep.
Some might argue that's not the best idea because of holiday food and what have you or whatever. But she was like, "Oh, do it on the 2nd of January." I was like, "No, if you're going to do it, let's start on New Year's Day. So as soon as you get up, weigh yourself, text me, let me know, and then I'll do the same." So we did New Year's Day, then we did Saturday, and now we're going to do every Saturday going forward. So, tomorrow morning I will, whenever I wake up tomorrow, I will weigh myself and check in with my colleague. So yeah, we're just kind of challenging each other to try and lose weight and meet our goals, and hold each other to account, but support each other at the same time. And it's like it's that if we do put on weight, just to kind of talk about it and be like, okay, so what happened this week, and just try and figure it out that way and just work with each other. So yeah, hopefully it'll work. So I am on a weight loss journey. I feel like I've done really well so far. And like I've said before, I think I've said it on this show before, it's just simple things like, not having 2 chicken burgers, but only having 1, or not having, when I cook fried rice, or, when I cook rice and, peas or vegetables or whatever, not to make such a massive portion that it fills a huge bowl and then just go to town on it. Just make enough, follow the recommendations on the package. Because it actually gives you a weight to use, and I just go, scoop, get a mug, scoop it. There you go, that's enough in the pan. There we go, that'll do. So yeah. Anyway, chats are popping.
Do you not think that the use of the word journey is rather overused?
It absolutely is.
Everything's a journey, whereas I think when I think of a journey, I think of getting onto a bus or
getting in the car and going somewhere.
What I'm talking about. I think of getting in a car. That to me, that's a journey.
It's a corporate
I tell you what else
now.
is overused. I'll tell you what else is overused before we go to the chat.
Yep.
Something that I noticed recently, which is I was watching a program. It was somebody was cooking something.
Mm-hmm.
It's not important what, but anyway, whatever they did, it was something about doing a smashed burger or smash something.
Oh, smash burgers! Yeah.
Why is everything fucking smashed now? It's like the new thing. Like you gotta take your food and then squish it, or smash it, to make it vaguely trendy. When did that start?
Five Guys started that one, I think.
Do they?
Yeah. Well, it was probably around before then. I'm just guessing. My first interaction with a smash patty was Five Guys. Because that's what they do. They just get their big ball of meat, stick it on the thing, and just press it down, and that's it. Rather than using I've got a burger press, but it's like a little mini dish that's round, and then you press a thing on top, and it forms it into the nice round shape that we all know and love so well.
Yeah. Circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Smash things don't have that shape. They just press down on it, and whatever shape it forms, that's your smashing shape.
They seem to smash everything now, particularly on Instagram. You go on Instagram for 5 minutes, you've seen about 20 things smashed.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you go to Pornhub, you'll see a few things smashed.
You can find the same on Pornhub.
But anyway, no, it's always. But the thing is, it's ridiculous now because they'll make a burger and put a bun on top, and then smash that, and then put that into another burger, and then smash that, and then I don't know, stuff it in a pheasant or something, and smash that. I don't know, but there seems to be a lot of smashing going on, and it's getting a bit much. Anyway, let's go back to the chat, shall we?
Well, so just the last time I made homemade burgers in my little burger press, as I pressed down on it to compress all the meat and what have you, I did exclaim the word smash.
Yeah.
Just as I pressed down, I was like, smash. I don't know why. I just did. I don't know why. I'm sorry, everybody. Anyway, back to the chat.
I usually do that when I'm driving.
Yeah. Watching a particular TV show. Smash. I tell you, I did that. I did that in the cinema once. We went to see. I think it was Doctor Strange, or the latest Doctor Strange movie. Went with some friends, and just as the credits were rolling, and it put people. One of the characters came up, and I was just like, smash. People around me laughed, so What?
Yeah.
Anyway, Ruby said, "I find that there are no tricks. Every journey is different." That's true. I am a firm believer of it's just diet and exercise. Portion control, a balanced diet and exercise. Because you can say, it's a balanced diet, but if you're eating a metric ton of food every day, you're still not going to lose weight. Even if it's all vegetables and rice and all the good stuff for you, not processed foods, you're still going to put on weight.
That's right. And of course, as I understand it, I think Ruby's journeys are probably further to the right.
I don't get it.
Driving.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Our journey's on the left, is on the right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Bex has been in the chat as well and said high protein and log your food on MyFitnessPal. It's a super. I assume that's an app.
Yeah.
It's a super good way to track your calories. It really surprised me at how many calories were in certain things. Costa, for example. Talking of
Cost a packet.
yeah. That makes me think of something else. Sugar.
Yeah.
I was surprised to find out that a large milkshake from McDonald's has more sugar in it than 2 cans of Coke.
I'm not surprised, but also a bit surprised.
It's not that surprising, is it? But,
yeah, I'm not surprised, but also a bit surprised.
Yeah.
Considering we all know how much sugar is in a can of Coke.
Mm.
We've all seen the videos where they go, "Oh, here's a can of Coke, and here's how much sugar." 30% of it is sugar or whatever they do. But no, I'm not surprised that milkshake is packed with sugar.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, so the whole sugar thing. We'll talk about this for a minute. So I'm diabetic, so I have to avoid sugars where I can.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it is completely unavoidable because, as I said before, I have to eat my feelings, and sometimes that's in the form of chocolate. And diabetic chocolate is awful. Don't ever eat it. Just don't bother. Like sugar-free gummy bears, don't bother. They're not worth it. But anyway, but when you really start paying attention to how much sugar is in stuff, you start to realize the sugar is just everywhere. But you also start realizing that your carbohydrates are a type of sugar. Your lactose in milk is a type of sugar. Fruit and vegetables have natural sugars in them as well. And it's like, I mean, I remember when I got my first diagnosis for diabetes, and I was like, oh, fruit has sugar in it, therefore I never need to eat fruit again. Which is completely untrue. That was literally where my mind went. I was like, no, I don't have to eat fruit again. Sausages don't have sugar in them. I can eat those.
You know what is a fruit? Tomato.
Correct.
So that's salad gone.
Yeah, salad's out the window. Yeah.
Yeah, no fruit, no salad.
Yeah, I don't like tomato anyway. But anyway, but that's why I don't eat salad, because I don't like tomato. And that's why I don't buy sandwiches with salad in them from the supermarket, because there's always fucking tomato in them. So I just don't buy them. But I'm like, bacon doesn't have sugar in it.
True.
But again, it probably does. It's probably got carbohydrates in there. Somewhere. Only a small amount, but it's probably there. But yeah, it's very weird. And when you start looking at it, I'm like, oh, sugar is actually everywhere.
Yeah. But Bex is spot on there with the whole protein thing. And that's the way that I found that I've lost weight in previous times. And that's the way that I will go back to it, which is just going high protein, low carb, and obviously no fruit, because that's got too much sugar in it.
Absolutely.
I'm not a fool.
I'm not an idiot.
Yeah. So there's a lot of talk about the carnivore diet.
Yeah.
And to be perfectly honest, that rather suits me quite well. The only downside I've discovered when it comes to that is the cost. Purely down to cost.
Meat is so expensive.
You compare it to simple things like pasta and bread and stuff like that, which is cheap as chips. Chips, that's another one.
Chips.
Potato. But meat costs money. Meat costs a lot of money. That's something to bear in mind. So your whole, your meat and butter and things like that. Eggs are good.
Yep.
And eggs aren't super expensive.
They're not crazy expensive, are they?
No.
What was it, about £2 for 6 or something these days?
Yeah.
I can't remember how much I paid.
It was a long time since I bought an egg, knowingly. You just buy things, don't you? You just go to the shop and grab it, and then.
True.
You buy. Nobody goes and buys an egg, so I don't know how much an egg costs. Because you buy an egg and this and that and
a single egg.
Yeah.
Can you buy single eggs? I don't think you can you?
No, I don't think you can, no.
No. Actually, no, you can. It's called a Scotch egg.
Yes.
See?
Yeah.
high
This is the
protein.
beauty, actually, of this whole protein thing.
Mm.
With eggs, it's perfect because what you can do, you can get a load of eggs, boil them up. So you've got hard-boiled eggs, stick them in the fridge, and there you go.
Yep.
A
Job
handy
done.
snack. And do you know what? It's enough to stop you being hungry.
Mm.
So if you sat there thinking, "Oh, I'm hungry," or "I've not had dinner, what shall I have?" Well, if it's dinner, you could have a couple of eggs.
Yep.
That's you sorted. But no, I agree with you. Bacon does not have sugar in it. Bacon does not have carbs in it. Bacon just has bacon goodness.
So bacon just has bacon in it, okay? And
Yeah.
that's the only ingredient we need to worry about.
Yeah. Also, if you stick it in a pan or grill it or whatever you want to do with it, it already has its own cooking oil.
True.
It's all in there.
Yep.
You
very
need
true.
nothing more.
Very true.
That's all right. Bacon and eggs. Do you know what? Actually, bacon and eggs was the food of kings, and that's what built society.
Yep.
And then people went to cereal, and all of a sudden they're addicted to sugar, and they're all fat.
See that? Right. Okay. Breakfast cereals. I love the idea of it because it's almost like it's easy. You don't have to cook it, but it's got some things in which are good for you to have. You get the high fiber stuff, and it's what was it? Shreddy? Is it shredded wheat? Shreddies. They'd be like, keeps you full till lunch, all that kind of stuff. And then you look at the ingredients and you go, but there's a metric fuck ton of sugar in here.
Yeah.
And the reason it keeps you full till lunch is because it's basically pure carbohydrate. Actually not good for you.
No, it's not good for you. And the thing is, people have tons of this bloody cereal because they think, oh, I'm being healthy, so I'm just having cornflakes. And fucking corn, that's not going to help you.
Nope.
Everything's got sugar on it, so you've got, what was the other ones? The ones that are great. The Tiger.
Oh, Frosties.
Frosties.
Yeah.
So you've got those, you've got Crunchy Nut cornflakes, all of those sorts of things. They've got far too much sugar in it. And then people go, oh, well, got to think about my health and put in bloody skimmed milk.
Yeah, right.
Okay, great.
You might as well put water in there.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. But it's actually the best bit. The best bit of the whole meal there would have been whole milk. You put whole milk in.
Yep.
Then it actually would have given you some goodness.
Good healthy fats.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. It's like healthy fats are a thing that people just don't think about. It's like, avocado. I'm not a fan of avocado myself, but it is actually really good for you.
Right.
It's full of vitamins and minerals and has what they call healthy fats. But obviously, again, if you eat too much of it, you're just going to put weight on because it's still fat, but it's almost like a different variety of, I don't know, it's something.
It's a vegetable. Oh, it's a fruit.
It's a fruit, yeah, it's a fruit. It's a stone fruit.
'Cause it's got the thing in the middle.
Yep. The stone. But what else was I about to say about I don't buy Crunchy Nut cornflakes anymore. Like my favorite breakfast cereal, Crunchy Nut cornflakes or Crunchy Nut or whatever they call it this year. I can't buy it. So do you remember the adverts for Crunchy Nut? And it would always be like, oh, the trouble is they taste too good. And one of the adverts, I remember this, was literally a guy opening the bag, so a fresh bag inside the box, and he literally just poured the milk straight into the bag. That was one of the adverts for Crunchy Nut, and I did that once. Because Crunchy Nut is that good. I will happily just destroy a whole box of Crunchy Nut in a day because it really is that good to me. But at that point, when I poured the milk into the bag, I said, I'm never buying Crunchy Nut again. If that's where I'm at with it, I just can't do that. Number one, it's crazy expensive because it's a brand name product. But number two, what a waste. And it's not good for you. It's full of sugar. Well, this is healthy because it's cornflakes, which are really good for you, and they've got nuts in, which are good for you. So there's protein there too. Fuck off. It's full of sugar.
Yeah. It's like cornflakes. Like, where's the fibre in that? There isn't any.
Exactly.
It's all bollocks.
My parents used to love fruit and fibre, Kellogg's fruit and fibre. But again, all the fruit has got sugar in it. So you've got to be careful with that. All bran is not bad. It is, again, very high in fibre, but there's all sugar in it. Everything's got sugar in it. So I don't buy cereal anymore. Well, the only thing I actually get is muesli, because I do like muesli. But again, I'm satisfied. I've got my little measuring cup. I take one measure, put it into a bowl, and the same amount of whole milk, and that's enough for me for breakfast.
Yeah.
If I have that for breakfast, sometimes I have that as a midnight snack because I just feel like it. So who says? When did society say that you can't have steak for breakfast?
Do you know what? I don't think I don't know why. I don't know why, because that used to be a thing.
Yep.
And I think it used to be a thing, certainly in the States, that people used to have, like in the 1950s, they'd have steak and eggs for breakfast.
Oh, steak, egg, and cheese muffin from McDonald's in America. Yeah,
they have steak and eggs, and like we have, egg and bacon.
Yep.
But that's what happened, and then all of a sudden, people started going, "Oh, cholesterol.
Yeah.
Oh,
colon
fat.
cancer.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Instead, why don't you have a nice, healthy bowl of sugar with some skimmed milk in it?"
But at some point, society decided that you have to have breakfast. You have to have cereal for breakfast, or fruit, or bacon and eggs. It's like I feel like even some people, still feel like a fried breakfast is too much for breakfast. It's like, it's not though. The clue's in the name. Fried breakfast. Sausage, bacon, eggs, hash browns, baked beans if you want baked beans, tomatoes, mushrooms if you're into that stuff. That's a good balanced breakfast, I think.
Yeah.
It's not balanced, but it's
it bloody is balanced. Well, I mean, the thing is, there's always bad stuff that you can throw into that.
Yes.
So, like, for example, I know they've taken the sugar content out now, but I mean, if you got beans with your breakfast, which shouldn't happen anyway, but if you did, then there's sugar in that.
Yep.
Then you got fried bread. Well, that's just I mean, also what makes it worse is when you start using seed oils instead of.
Yes.
You can have fried bread because you can put a piece of bread in where you had your bacon, and then you've already got your fat anyway. You don't need to start introducing odd seed oils into your system. But yeah. So the downside there is the bread.
Yeah.
The worst thing is the bread because and also possibly sausages because they can be mucked about with.
Yeah, there's a lot of
bread.
There's a lot of stuff in sausages. It's not just meat.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
But,
I agree with that.
Bacon, good. Eggs, good. Black pudding.
Oh yeah, black pudding. Yeah,
Basically, it's just blood. So good.
Protein. Yep.
Yeah. Mushrooms, good.
Protein.
Tomato. Yeah, why not?
Basically, what we're saying is, a proper fried breakfast is essentially protein.
Yes.
That's what you're eating for breakfast. It's protein. So then it goes back to why not steak for breakfast? Because that's protein too.
Mm-hmm.
And good, wholesome, unmessed around with protein.
Yeah.
Anyway, chat's been kicking off.
Just a footnote to that. Everybody used to eat bacon and eggs for breakfast.
Yeah.
And everybody used to eat bread and dripping.
Yes.
And everybody used to eat all of this sort of stuff. And you know what? Like just looking at it now, I just think to myself, did they actually live longer? I think they actually did.
I
think they did. Many did.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what was the other thing I was going to say? Yeah, so they lived long. Yes, they weren't fat. That was it.
Yeah.
They were all walking around like normal sized.
Yep. That's because they all walked.
Going around fat.
That's because they all walked.
Well, probably.
That's the difference. But right, hang on. Right, stop press. You need to look at the chat. Look who's come into the chat after many months of absence.
Oh, I tell you what, Dave, evening, gents. He says.
Yep. Hi, David.
Dave, I've got to say, this is down to the TikTok. This is the power of social media because there was a TikTok that we put on, or I put a TikTok up, which was a clip of us saying how much we missed Dave.
Really?
Yes.
Did you really do that?
I really did that. And there he is.
Oh, Dave, we've missed you, bud.
I know he saw it because he liked it.
Okay, we missed.
Because I spot things like that.
I don't live on TikTok. The brain rot is real. Anyway, the chat has been popping off in the last however long. So Ruby says potatoes and meat can be your best friend. True. And again, it's the unrefined stuff. If you just bake a potato, you're generally okay.
Yeah.
And then OMG steak, egg, and cheese muffin bagel is my favorite from Ruby. And I think I've regaled us with this story before. But yeah, when I went to America, 12 years ago now, I did get a steak, egg, and cheese muffin from McDonald's while I was there, and my God, it was the best McDonald's breakfast I've ever had. Nothing has come close to it. Then when I went to America a couple of years ago, I did get a steak, egg, and cheese. I don't think they were around then, actually. Maybe it was limited edition at the time I went out. Like the old McRib. Don't ever buy a McRib, people. They're awful.
Yeah.
Bex has said, probably because people got too busy and went to work, so needed quicker options. Wifey stopped staying at home. Oh, that's for the breakfast options for, non-cooked breakfasts at that point. So we've gone on to cereals and...
So Bex is saying it's women's fault.
Sure.
Yeah. That's what I read.
That's what you read.
Yeah.
Beans are a good source of protein, depending on how you make it. So I don't know what it's like in America, but we have baked beans. They come in a can in a tomato-based sauce. They are full of protein, but I think the sauce historically has always had a lot of sugar in it. I don't know what they're like now. I think you said they took it out.
Do you know what? I think if we found a tin of beans from probably even 20 years ago, certainly 30 years ago, and assuming they were fine, and ate it, we'd probably feel incredibly sick because what they've done is they've gradually reduced the sugar content.
Yep.
So we're eating a very different product than we would have done when we were first eating beans.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been a huge fan of beans. I mean, I do remember when I lived with my parents when I was much younger. We would buy baked beans from Aldi. No, was it Netto? Which are one of the real budget supermarkets when they were actually still budget supermarkets. Because they're not really that budget anymore. But yeah, I think they were Aldi baked
maybe
beans.
Quick Save.
God, there's a classic. I think but they were better than Heinz baked beans. Like they tasted much better than Heinz. I've never been a fan of Heinz baked beans. But I haven't really eaten beans since leaving my parents' house. It's just not something I go out of my way to find, and I don't buy them for myself. Yeah, definitely not. But yeah, apparently the steak, egg, and cheese sandwich has just come back over the last few months in America. Cool. And Ruby also says she uses bagged beans, not canned, for that reason. I've never had beans out of a bag. I don't know if that's a thing here, actually, in the UK.
Bagged beans?
Bagged beans.
What beans in a bag?
Yeah. I guess like you'd buy, rice in a bag or anything like that. Just because they're just beans, aren't they? There's,
presumably not in tomato sauce, then.
Just not in tomato sauce, yeah.
Okay. Bag of beans.
Yeah, and then Dave came in absolutely on my level here with beans. The more you eat, the more you fart. Lol. So yeah. Beans, they're good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. Yeah. The more you fart, the more you eat, the more you sit on the toilet seat. I think that's how the rhyme went. Something like that. And then someone went, but they're not good for your heart because they're packed full of sugar. So then the rhyme changed to beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot.
What's your feelings on beans on toast?
I haven't had beans on toast for a long time. I feel like I should try it again. So, newsflash, I've started buying bread again and just putting it in the freezer so I don't just immediately destroy whole loaves of bread in a day.
Yeah.
So I've started having like cheese on toast. I love cheese on toast. And if I'm feeling particularly special, I'll cook some bacon up and then put the bacon on top of the bread and then the cheese on top of the bacon.
You are very special, CJ.
I really am. I'm a special kind of guy. But no, I haven't had beans on toast for ages, and I don't know how I feel about them.
Yeah.
I used to like it.
We do get a lot of ribbing from the US from people.
Yeah.
About beans on toast. I think that's largely unfounded. I don't think they quite understand. I don't think they quite understand what it is.
I don't think they quite understand the the frugal nature of being a student in university, and that's basically what you got. Bread is cheap, beans are cheap. That's what you're going to eat. So, because you ain't got any money to do anything else. I know, because you blow the rest of your money out at the pub with your mates on a weekend, because that's what students do apparently. I've seen this on some like the videos that I've watched on YouTube. Like, some American folk don't understand the concept of beans on toast. Or anything really on toast. Beans or spaghetti hoops or anything like that. It's
egg on toast is nice.
Poached egg
on toast.
Poached egg on brown toast.
Yeah.
Not because you've made it brown through toasting it, but on brown bread that you've toasted. So just clarify.
No, it would have for me. It would be white bread.
I love white bread, but I don't know. It's just something about I feel when I have a poached egg, I feel like I'm being a lot healthier because I haven't fried it. So then I think maybe I should have the healthier option of bread and go brown.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily any healthier anyway. It's
just
bullshit. It's just
total bollocks.
It's just a different shade of bread. I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Again, we've been duped into thinking that brown bread is good for you. No, I tell you what's good for you. No bloody bread.
Yeah, none.
Anyway, the chat keeps going.
Yeah, it is going.
It's easy for me to say.
Yeah, what's next? Beans on toast topped with cheese. Yes.
Yes.
Hell yes.
That's a given. Yeah.
Yep. What else we got? Scrambled egg and beans on toast is good. I don't like scrambled egg.
I don't. I like scrambled egg on toast, and I don't mind beans on toast. I hope you're not suggesting. I don't think you are, but Bex, you're not suggesting scrambled egg and beans on the same toast. Tell me it isn't true.
Tell me it isn't so, Bex. But I'm not a fan of scrambled. I've had too many bad experiences with scrambled egg, and
I have too. And do you know what? If it's scrambled eggs, there's one of two things. It's either a buffet breakfast where I can see it,
and you can also see the water that it's.
I can assess it, or I've made it myself. Because if it's too runny, I don't want to know. I really don't want to know.
No. It's like when we were in the organisation and we go, visit military establishments, and you'd go for the morning breakfast, and I can see the scrambled egg, and it's just in a puddle of water. And I'm like, nope, I'm out. I'm good, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all a bit of it can be a bit hit and miss, can't it?
Yeah. Ruby's coming with, I understand that we have cheap options similar to that. I think we're talking about the beans on toast.
Right.
Then egg on toast is good. Bex is making Dave hungry now. Some say brown bread is worse for you because it takes longer to digest, so you absorb more of the carbs and sugar. I didn't know that.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't know that because I thought it was a different type of flour, or it's got added fiber in it, so it's supposed to help keep you regular type thing or something. I'm not sure though. Again, I've never.
Okay, I call bullshit on the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just they've just added a little drop of brown dye just to make you think it's something else. I tell you what I really don't like. This is what I hate. It's bread with little bits of crap in it.
Oh, like seeded bread and that shit.
I don't want bread that's been used to sort of scoop up whatever's in the bottom of a bird cage. Screw that and anybody that produces it.
So that, and the other big con when it comes to bread is Hovis Best of Both. Where they've gone, it's white bread with the goodness of brown, but it tastes like shit. it's not good bread. I don't understand how people like that stuff.
Yeah.
Or gluten-free bread. Now, I get that there's a requirement for gluten-free bread because some people are sensitive to gluten. I don't know what gluten is, but I know that I love it.
Yeah.
Okay? Gluten-free bread is awful. It's just terrible stuff.
You can't take something out and make it better.
No.
Like it's like the things that are fat. It's got no fat in it. Great. It's got no bloody taste then, has it?
It's like fat-free bacon. It's like when you get the bacon like lardons or something. It's like all the fat's been cut off, but that's where the flavour is.
Yeah, sugar-free, taste-free.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, watch yourself with things that say 0% fat as well. It's like a mutual friend of ours. He was really into, or I think he still is, into like the 0% fat yogurts.
Yeah.
He'd be like, oh, but there's no fat in it. And I'd literally just like flip the pot around and be like, yeah, but look how much sugar's in this. Yeah, there may be no fat in there, but look how much sugar is in here. It's terrible for you. Just stop eating it. Greek yogurt is, if you want yogurt, Greek yogurt apparently is the best for you because again, it's high protein, low fat, low sugar.
Yeah, and it's not. Don't go for the Greek style.
Not Greek
yogurt.
style. Yeah.
No, Greek.
Actual Greek. But you know what? Greek yogurt is really difficult to find.
Yeah.
I don't know how successful anyone has been in finding Greek yogurt, but I really struggle to find Greek yogurt when it's all Greek style. You know, whether it, like the Skia or whatever other brands. I can't remember even brands now of yogurt because that's how little I buy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't find Greek yogurt. It's all Greek style, and I'm like, that's kind of pointless then. But when you do find it, it's crazy expensive.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
And David said, like taking the jelly out of pork pies. I mean, you can keep
I do like
keep
the jelly
that.
in pork pies.
You can keep that.
Oh, yeah, that's the best bit.
No, you can keep that. I don't want that.
Yeah. the two best bits of a pork pie, if they're done nicely, is I think the two best bits: the jelly, followed by the pastry, and then maybe the pork pie element.
I'll say top to bottom, so best to worst. The pie, the casing, the crust, the meat, or the filling. That's what I'm thinking of. And then the jelly's the worst. No, you can keep that shit. I don't want it. I hate it.
Do you know what I like? I quite like corned beef, but the best bit of the corned beef, or the best time to have corned beef, is when you first open the tin. Because when you first open the tin, it's room temperature, and then it has a little bit of jelly on it.
Okay.
And that's so good, so good. And then you put the rest of the tin into the fridge, and then it's too cold.
So then it's not the same.
It's not quite the same, no.
It's just not the same.
It just isn't. It's also quite fun opening the cans as well. You have the little key.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn the key to open the can. Yeah. Yeah, we had that with Spam. I used to like Spam. I think I've gone off it now because I've gotten older. I'm not really into Spam anymore. Either the food or emails. Yeah. Somebody sent me a link on how to spell maps backwards. Turns out it was just Spam. Sorry, that popped into my head. Bex agrees with me.
Bex,
she hates the jelly. Thanks, Bex. we can be friends. Jelly can go and eat a bag of dicks.
And also, Bex says, isn't it the same as actual Greek yogurt, but it's not made in Greece? What's she talking about now?
Greek style yogurt. I thought Greek style had some additives in it. Maybe we need to. Maybe a quick Google will
let's do.
Will alleviate it. Greek style versus Greek yogurt. The difference between Greek and Greek style. I do not agree to your cookies because you never send them to me. Disagree all. There we go. Right. Hang on a minute. Can I? What does this look like? It's terrible. That's what it is. Wait.
Oh well. There's a bit of background colour. Go on.
There you go. If you can read that. The difference between Greek and Greek style yogurt. Yogurt can be made through hundreds of processes. Blah 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 blah. Just tell me what the difference is. Right. Greek yogurt. The milk for Greek yogurt firstly has the water removed by straining the whey from the plain yogurt. This straining is done 3 times instead of twice, which is the traditional way, which means you get a thicker product. Removing the water means you get a thick, creamy yogurt, which is more protein dense than other yogurts. Greek yogurts are also low in sugar, with the majority of the sugar taken out in the whey. But one of the best bits about Greek is that it's lower in lactose than other yogurts, because the gradual straining, which retains all the good yogurt cultures. Okay, superbly Superbly, this means that some lactose intolerance of... Yeah, okay, I don't care about that. Okay, so Greek style then. If you're opting for Greek yogurt because of its incredible health benefit, then do not choose Greek style yogurt thinking this is the same thing. These usually contain cream, gelatin, gum blend, stabilizers, preservatives, milk solids, and more to thicken the yogurt and quicken the straining process.
Yeah.
They also detract from the natural Greek yogurt's nutrition benefits and can be problematic, especially for lactose intolerant sufferers. Yep. Simply put, Greek-style yogurt gets its name because there is some straining going on like they do in Greece, but that is where the comparison begins and ends. There you go.
There we go.
It's like Google knew what we were looking for.
Yeah.
I'll be better prepared with the Zoom level next time.
Yeah.
So that's a smoother transition.
I enjoyed it anyway. That's what she said. Whilst we're on the
No, she
subject,
didn't. She didn't say that to you.
Totally did. Cottage cheese. Now, cottage cheese is like barely any fat.
It's also gross.
I really like cottage cheese.
Okay. I mean, I guess someone does.
Why hasn't it got fat? What's different? Why is the cottage made different?
Isn't cottage cheese like similar to cheese curds? It's like when you make cheese, again, it's that straining and separating process, and you basically scrape the top off the cheese, and that's your cottage cheese or something. I don't know.
It feels like that might be the way.
It feels like
It's
something
all,
like
it's
that.
all
Doesn't it?
about curds and whey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or something.
Little Miss Muffets.
Yeah, that was it. The spider thing.
Yeah, sitting on a tuffet eating her curds and whey.
Yeah.
Way.
Anyway, we're not going to bother to research that.
No, we won't.
If you know, get in the chat and tell us.
Yeah.
We're not going to bother about that. Bex got back in the chat and said, "Shocking! I didn't know that."
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So there we go. Greek style yogurt is nothing like Greek yogurt.
So yeah, I knew there was something there, and apologies for disproving you there, Bex. But yeah, I knew there was something in it where somebody said, "Do not, if you're looking for healthy yogurt, don't go Greek style. Find Greek if you can." But I guess that's also why it's so much more expensive as well, because it's it goes through that extra straining process, and there is no additives put in it. It's very refined and unedited, if you like. Unscripted. So much like us.
Yeah. Although you did tell me that you had a food-related story.
Let me find it for you. Here we go. Yeah. So remember last week when we were talking and we found the "Am I an asshole?" post, and it was the guy who he was just like, "Am I the asshole for making my friend walk home for 20 minutes?" Because he kept criticizing my cooking. So I found this one. It's not the same as that. And it's not a follow-on to that. But I was like, it's another nice food-related cooking. Am I the arsehole post? So I thought I'd share this with you as well. So here we go. I've got, am I the arsehole for telling my roommate to stop cooking all the time? Now, if it was me, I'd just on first impression out of that, I'm like, maybe you are, because someone else cooking food for me is great. Because I'm lazy and I don't like cooking for myself. But anyway, let's go. So I live with my roommate. Name them Katie. I'm hoping that's not their real name. I live with my roommate Katie, and we've been roommates for like a year. Things were fine at first, but now I'm losing my mind.
Not a year, but like a year.
Like a year, not quite a year, but like a year. Things are fine at first, but now I'm losing my mind because she is obsessed with cooking. At first, it was kind of cool because BC, which I think is because she would make these fancy meals and sometimes offer me some, but now she's like cooking all the time, and it's driving me nuts. I don't know why that's capitalized that, because no need to shout. She cooks literally every day, sometimes twice a day, and it's never simple stuff. It's always these big fancy recipes that use like every pot and pan we own. The kitchen is always
not every pot and pan. But like every pot and pan.
Exactly. Yeah. So similar to every pot and pan. So the kitchen is always a disaster, and she doesn't even clean up after herself right away. Like sometimes I'll go to bed and the next morning there's still dirty dishes and random food everywhere. Also, she started making weird stuff like fish stock and some kind of fermented stuff, which makes the whole apartment stink. The fridge is also a huge issue. She's completely taken over all the space with her leftovers and jars of sauces and random ingredients. I can barely fit my milk and eggs in there. Last week I came home starving after work and she was making this huge meal and she told me I had to wait like 2 hours to use the stove because she needed it for her process or whatever. I ended up eating cereal. I mean, I do this mainly because I walk in the kitchen and go, I can't be bothered. Cereal. So I told her she needs to chill and stop hogging the kitchen all the time and at least clean up after herself. She got super mad and said I'm unsupportive of her passion and I'm being selfish. She was like, I don't complain when you watch TV all the time. Why are you complaining about this? Which makes no sense because her cooking affects me directly. Now she's being all passive aggressive, like saying, oh, I'll just eat frozen meals from now on since I'm such a problem. And I don't know. Now I feel kind of bad, but also like I pay rent too and should be able to use my own kitchen. Am I the arsehole for saying something, or should I just let her do her thing because it's her hobby?
She's the arsehole.
I feel like it's a 50-50. She's the arsehole for saying something. Okay, someone's getting passionate about something. And they want, they're exploring their passion, they're having fun and loving life at the same time. But that person also needs to clean up after themselves. Don't be a pig. You make a mess, clean it up.
Yeah, but let's look at this another way. So let's say, for example, you're cooking something. The chances are you're not going to be doing some great big cooking, making stock and creating. For breakfast? Probably not.
Probably not.
The chances are you're probably for lunch eating a sandwich at your desk. So we're probably talking about dinner. And by the time this person comes in from work, presuming they're at work, comes in from work and cooks and eats, it's probably quite late.
Yep.
Time to go to bed. So you cannot have a situation where you eat or you cook, you eat, and then immediately clear up. Because the first thing you do when you've cooked is eat.
Yeah, generally,
From the sounds of it, this housemate or whatever she is probably, turning her nose up at whatever's being cooked anyway, because she doesn't like, what was it, fish or something?
Fish stock, yeah.
Fish stock.
And fermented stuff.
Yeah, I know. So she's very dismissive.
Yeah.
So she's not eating it, probably. And all she sees is a mess in the kitchen. Whereas the reality is, it's just, it's just part and parcel of people eating dinner. They eat dinner, and then the last thing you feel like doing is necessarily tidying up.
Yeah. Now, there's some interesting stuff coming in on the chat on this one as well. So Ruby said, I hate when people say like so often, like it makes the story less serious.
Like totally,
dude. See, when people say like that, I just think it's almost that kind of surfer dude kind of thing for me. It's like when they go, oh, like awesome, dude. Yeah, totally. Bexa said she definitely needs to clean up and it probably raises the gas and electric bill quite a lot as well. That's true. And again, if you're paying your gas and electric, then yeah, I'd be like, you can pick that up, seeing as you're cooking all the time.
Yeah, God forbid you might cook.
But if they're cooking all the time,
really?
but if they're doing it all the time and using a lot of energy doing it, then
no. To be fair, it doesn't sound to me like this woman is. She's not running a fast food joint out of the back of the kitchen.
True,
right? She's cooking her own dinner. From the sounds of it, a dinner for one. And although she might put a bit of time and care into it because she doesn't want to eat crap, she wants to make things from scratch. I think that's perfectly reasonable. I don't think she should, we should worry about the gas and electric from cooking dinner. My goodness, that's ridiculous. And I'll tell you, the other thing is, the other person, if they cook anything, they'll, they would use the cooker or microwave or something. They're going to be using energy.
Yeah, true.
In fact, that person is on on Reddit, tapping away, probably got a lamp on,
Using electricity,
to moan about the one that can do the cooking.
Yeah, I think I'm going to counter that slightly and say actually, 22 female, they're probably on their phone.
Yeah, that's true.
They're probably Redditing from their phone. But
yeah.
Ruby says,
of course, they won't charge the phone up with anything.
No, of course not. No. Ruby said, "Clean as you go." Now, this is something I try and do when I'm cooking it. It's like as soon as I'm done with the pan, just get it out of the way, get it in the sink, get it washed, or especially if you're baking something. While you're waiting for this thing to cook, or you're making a roast dinner, while you're waiting for things to cook, just wash up the stuff you've already used, or put it in the dishwasher.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's easy for you to say because you've got a dishwasher. But clean as you go, yeah, fine. But there's always going to be something left because go from that goes onto a plate, and then it goes into wherever you're going to go and eat.
Yeah,
you're bound to leave something behind. Doesn't matter what you do.
The point on this story though is, they're leaving it a complete disaster every time. That's what they're saying. It's a complete disaster. It doesn't clean up anything. Like all the pots, like every pot and pan is used. So maybe there's something in. They just need to even just rinse stuff out so it's easier to clean later on. Maybe that's it, but I'm not sure. Bex has come back in with, it would annoy me not to be able to cook. Yeah, especially if you enjoy cooking, that could be quite annoying, I guess.
It sounds to me like she doesn't give a toss about cooking. Sounds to me like she's complaining about the other one cooking. At no point does she say, I can't cook, I can't do any cooking because this one's hogging the kitchen. That's not her complaint. Her complaint is she's jealous that she's got a housemate that can cook. She's jealous that her housemate is the one that's going to find a husband because she can cook. And she's just bitter. She's sitting there bitterly on Just Eat and cereal. That's my view on that one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I get that. It's very selfish. I think that's the point. Yeah, potentially. And David's come in with, she's the arsehole. She should respect the others in the property, live in a shared property, and we have allocated. Sorry, David lives in a shared property. We have allocated spaces in the fridge and the kitchen. We respect each other's boundaries. What's a boundary?
So when the Christmas tree's been there for so long, all the green bits fallen off, and they're left with the brown tree, and nobody takes responsibility for getting rid of it.
No, exactly.
That brown tree's still there. Yeah. So much for evergreen.
Yeah.
and then see, David's confusing me here because I'm not entirely sure who he's saying the arsehole is now. Are you saying Are you saying that the original poster is the arsehole, or is the cooking girl the arsehole? Please come back to us and let us know.
Yeah.
Beck says, I wondered how long the husband comment would take.
How long before you mentioned the husband?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Well, there you go. But
yeah, not long, clearly.
Clearly not long, yeah.
No.
Clearly not long. But yeah, we've got some... I'm just trying to see if there's any interesting comments on here. Yeah, nothing that I can be bothered to go through right now. So I just can't be bothered. But yeah, it's. I mean, for me, I think the arsehole is the chef for just leaving the place a mess. It's like, really? I get it. Sometimes you'll get a bit lazy, but if you've cooked stuff in an afternoon or evening, find some time before you go to bed to just tidy up a little bit. Either put stuff in the dishwasher or start washing it up, or do something to show that you're not just cooking and then leaving a mess, especially in a shared space.
Yeah, I think lazy not cooking bint is the arsehole, and nobody's going to change my mind on that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Moving on.
Well, maybe she's just annoyed because she doesn't get offered any of the food.
Maybe that. Well, no, she did say at the start. Let's go. Roommate first. Luke. Yeah. Blah blah blah. she'd make these fancy meals and sometimes offer me some. Sometimes, not all the time.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what it is. Maybe the sometimes has turned into none.
Yeah, but she never says, and sometimes I've tried some and it's delicious or anything like that.
That's true.
She's been offered some.
Mm.
So, like, she said, "Oh, I've made this lovely food. Would you like some?" And she's gone, "No, thanks. I'm just going to go and sit in my room."
So no thanks, I got a smash burger on the way.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And something to eat. Anyway, moving swiftly.
Moving on.
So anyway, let us know. Get in the chat. Let us know. Let's have a definitive whether or not that person's the arsehole. In the meantime, I tell you what, I've got one myself.
Do you now?
Just hang on a minute. Not an arsehole.
I mean,
yes,
I've got one of those.
Yeah, it's true. Give me a moment. Let me just see if I can find it.
Okay.
Yeah, this was a bit of a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have a look. I say weird because it sounds like every character involved in this is a bit weird.
Okay.
So this is: am I the arsehole for telling my wife's friend she is too old and ugly after she repeatedly? I mean, if it's true, it's true. Telling my wife's friend that she's too old and ugly after she repeatedly asked my 19-year-old son to take off his shirt. He was getting uncomfortable.
I'm wondering where the old and ugly part fits in with that.
Okay. My family had a small get-together at my house. One of my wife's friends was over. She is unmarried. I think she is 45 to 47. Let's say 46 then.
Yeah.
We aren't too close to her since she lives pretty far away. Well, yeah, you're not that close if she's far away. She was over our house and she started complimenting my son. My son is 19. It starts off innocent, but as time goes on, it gets more and more crossing the line. When we were out on my deck, he's got a ship. When we were out on my deck, she starts telling my son to take his shirt off.
Is it the poop deck?
Poop deck? Yeah. She says, "What's the point in going to the gym if no one will see it?" My son is visibly uncomfortable and tries to shut her down. She repeatedly is asking and is getting more aggressive with it. I'm like,
Like?
I interject and I'm like, "Hey, Kathy, I think you're a bit too old and ugly for my son."
Wow. Both barrels at the same there. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think you're a bit too old and ugly for my son. This got her upset very quickly, and she excused herself to the bathroom and starts crying. That was the poop deck.
Yeah.
My wife goes to comfort her, and later she leaves. At the end of it, my wife is super angry with me for saying that. That I should have said, "Hey, Kathy, looks like you had too much to drink," or something else instead. I told my wife that Kathy, by the way, that's not her real name, works in a corporate job. She's had training on this. She knows better. I see. So she should know better because she lives under the sword of HR.
Yep.
Okay. So she should know better. And our son was uncomfortable. He's 18 plus, but he doesn't know how to deal with an adult, let alone adult. Let alone
so
someone
an older
saying
adult, I
that
think
in our
that is
house.
what that means.
Say that again.
I think that means an older adult. Yeah, as in an adult
okay. Yeah,
rather than a
that's
young
what-
adult.
Oh, I see. An adult rather than a young adult. Anyway, I told my wife flat out that if I was to invite a guy friend and he was to say, to ask to see our daughter in a bikini, my wife would have called the police. Seems like a fair comment.
I think it's a fair comparison.
She says it's different. Sexism.
Mm.
I tell her that I was way kinder to Kathy than I would have been had a guy said something like that to our daughter. And I told my wife that Kathy needs to apologize to my son before she can ever come to our house again. Overall, I think it was fair. If Kathy had just said it once, and I think that would have been, I think that I would have been the arsehole. But the fact that she kept repeating it that's why I said it. And I wanted to get the message across why I'm upset, and that's why I included the ugly part.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that reminds me of there's a film called Ace Ventura, Jim Carrey movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it. But there's a bit in there where he's talking to Courtney Cox's character, like in her garden, and they end up in a bit of an argument, and she's just like, "You're just upset because X, Y, Z," and he just goes, "Yeah, and you're ugly," and that's it's that childish kind of. It's like when I was a kid. Like the ultimate comeback for any insult was like, "Yeah, so's your mum." That was like the ultimate comeback for anything. And it feels like that. It's just like, you know what? Leave my son alone because you're ugly.
Yeah.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think he's the arsehole here.
I don't think the ugly comment was necessary.
It wasn't necessary, but it was funny.
Yeah.
I think the thing is that he's gone shock and awe on this one.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't you when you've got basically you've got this woman sort of leching on your teenage teenage son. Yeah, that's weird. Especially if they're 45, 47.
Yeah.
Or even 46 in the middle.
Okay, I'm between 45 and 47, so you're 46 then. Okay, great. But I get it. I think if it was me in that scenario, I probably wouldn't have thrown the ugly thing in there. I'd just been like, right, hang on a minute. You are old. He is not. So back away. Yeah. Just stop that.
Yeah.
I overall, I don't think he's the arsehole. For the ugly comment, I think he is. But that's just my personal opinion on it. That's just my feeling on that one. But overall, he's not the arsehole in that scenario. Because it isn't different if, so if one of his guy friends came around and asked to see their daughter in a bikini, it's not different at all. It's the same thing. It's still, now going on the corporate thing, because I've recently done sexual harassment training at work, that is absolutely sexual harassment. Yeah. And it affects everybody. It's not limited to just women. It affects everybody. So yeah, I don't think he's the arsehole in this scenario.
No, I agree. And even with the ugly comment, I think that was just funny. Yeah. Also, the thing is, we're missing a little bit of context because it never says whether or not she's actually ugly.
No.
Now, this is important because if this is an ugly woman, then yeah, that's kind of an arsehole thing to say. If she's not ugly, then it's less so.
Okay.
That's my feeling on that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but old. Actually, do you know what? I think this woman probably wasn't that bothered about the ugly thing. I reckon she was probably like, oh yeah, dickhead, call me ugly. I think what really hurt was the sudden realization in that moment what she'd done, what she'd said,
and
the realization that actually she is nearly 30 years older than the 19-year-old, and I think that's what upset her. That's why she's sobbing in the bathroom.
Maybe.
There we go.
Maybe. Anyway,
right, okay, come on then, women in the chat, come and fight me on this one.
Well,
Ruby agrees. Tell me that he's an arsehole. I know that's going to happen. Come on then.
Well, Ruby agrees with me that Ace Ventura is a great movie. So yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
David's come in and said, I would have acted the same. You would always stick up for your kids despite their ages. Yeah, and I'm definitely not saying don't stick up for your kids. Absolutely stick up for your kids. I just didn't think the ugly part was particularly necessary. Like I say, that's just my personal feeling on it. We can fight that to the end of time. Whatever.
Mm.
Ruby said, as a parent, if an adult was giving my kid crap, I'd defend my kid, but choosing words is an important concept. That's a nice diplomatic comment. I like that.
Mm.
I like that. You've been hanging around me too much. That's all I'm going to say. That's the kind of thing I say.
Like HR are not in the room.
That's
okay?
it. There's
Can
no
I
one
just
from
say
HR
that?
here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look, the thing is, as I say, very importantly is the context.
Yeah.
Is she ugly? Because if she is, yeah, okay, that was a cruel thing to say.
Is she ugly?
Yeah. Is she ugly? That is important information. And I'm gonna look at the comments on this one.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Okay.
I see. The problem is, I think everybody in the comments is focusing on the double standard because that's like, that's an easy way to go.
Of course
go with
it
that,
is,
isn't
yeah.
it? A comparison. Yeah. Thank you for being a good parent and defending your son. I mean, defending. I don't think it was really defending. Like, she wasn't literally.
So she wasn't attacking him. Yes, like,
No.
She wasn't attacking the kid. Yeah.
No, she was just making him rather uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh, but then again, according to my sexual harassment training, that is as bad as physically attacking them.
Well, of course it is. I mean, he used words. I mean, that's so much worse than physical violence these days.
Whatever happens to sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Whatever happened to that? Everyone became a bit soft, didn't they?
Yeah. Do you want me to start? Do you want me to start?
No, Ted. No, let's stay on track.
No, I won't start because that'll be words, and words are worse than violence. Okay. Who else is in the chat?
So Ruby's come back in with teaching my kids to stick up for themselves isn't an easy thing to do nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
David has said the screen has gone blurry. I feel like that's a you problem because it's fine on my end. So yeah, that's a you kind of problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I won't say a word against CJ's end.
Yeah, don't insult my end.
Yeah. Yeah, I teach my kids the proper way to stick with them. I mean, that's not a. I mean, this is not a situation that you sit down and teach your kids about ahead of time. Anyway, is it? Mm. So anyway,
no.
When your mother's friend comes round and pervs on you, this is what you should do. I mean, that's not a conversation that anybody's expecting to have.
That's a very specific scenario, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. The thing is, it can't be easy. I don't have kids, so I don't really have I don't have any experience in that area. But it's I assume it's just part and parcel of being a parent. You have to teach them, how to be nice to other people, how to be a good person themselves, but also how to, in very general terms, how to protect themselves from things like that. And it's like, if someone is making you uncomfortable, you need to tell them that they're making you uncomfortable, or, you need to report it somewhere, or, especially if they're in school, you need to be going to your teachers and reporting it and doing that. I mean, I remember actually being in school, because I was bullied when I was in school quite regularly, but then again, that's what happens when you're ginger. But, my parents would say things like, why don't you just talk to the teachers? And you're just like, do you not think I've done that already? Do you not think that was the first thing because you've said this to me many times. So, over the years, as you said this to me, do you not think now that my first port of call is to go and talk to a teacher? But when the teacher just goes, he's just being silly, don't worry about it, just ignore it. And you're like, kids are assholes. That's what I'm going to say. Kids are assholes. And kids will just keep doing stuff because you've told them not to do it. Ignoring kids doesn't work. They just keep going. That's just what kids do. But yeah, it's difficult. I don't even know where I was going to go with that story. But yeah, no, my mum always used to say to me, just ignore them. It's like, it doesn't always work. But yeah, I guess you've got to do something to teach your kids about, how to respect other people and how to understand how you would want to be treated by other people. And like I say, but that's a very specific scenario. I don't know how you teach that without having gone through that experience yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you were a kid.
There's something going on in the chat.
There's a lot of chatter going on in the chat.
Yes. So Bex has came in and said, I also said I don't think he's an arsehole. Maybe it didn't show up in the chat, and it didn't.
No, it didn't show up in the chat. I didn't see that at all. Sorry.
No, we didn't ignore you. It didn't show up in the chat. It's not there. But we now see it. But we now see that you said that.
Hold on. I'm just going to scroll back through the chat now.
Well, how far do you have to scroll back?
Shockingly didn't know that. Definitely needs. Okay, so we're on that one. Selfishness. Husband comment. No, I don't see it.
No, I don't see it either. You weren't being ignored. I don't know what happened there.
Apologies if you did comment. Well, even Ruby's backed you up there to say you did comment. So apologies that we didn't see it.
Yes,
it's not
and Bex has clearly backed me up to say, yes, he's not the arsehole. Totally agree with Bex there. So there you go. You get the badge as top commenter on this particular.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's right there. Sorry. No, hang on. It is right there.
Is it? Where?
Right here. This one that I'm highlighting on my screen share to you. I also said I don't think he's an arse. Oh, no, sorry. No. You know what? No, I'm talking shit. Ignore me. Moving on.
Moving swiftly on from whatever that was.
Yeah, moving on.
Yes, thank you, Bex, for agreeing with me. I think you're right too. Lol, no loyalty. I don't know what that relates to. But yeah, no, you were right. You were right.
That's the no loyalty is in response to the we ignored her.
I see.
Comment from Ruby. Yeah. So again, we apologise. Well, I apologise, but I speak for both of us now.
There we go. We got a chat. At least a bonding, but the bonding against us. We're in a them and us situation with our own bloody chat. That's ridiculous.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
us versus them. The story of CJ's life. Yeah.
Well, yes. At least we're good at team building.
We really are.
It's just teams against us. So, moving swiftly on from that, I'm going to say he's not an arsehole. I think he put in a nice, a funny little quip there. He added the ugly just for a comic effect. Thumbs up for that. I'm totally down with that.
Okay.
And she is far too old and far too inappropriate in what she was saying about this man's son.
Yes.
Why would you do that? I mean, what kind of... Anyway, let's not go into that again.
I'm sure that's happened to me at some point, where some... especially if you are the youngest male in the room and of age, some drunken, bat is going to say something like, oh, get your top off, you're such a handsome young man. And you just go, it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
A little weird.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, you're right.
Bex has just said, I think you should ask in the comments whether or not she is ugly. Okay.
No,
you talked about us into Reddit. Oh, has it been shut down now?
Yeah, it's been shut down, that one.
Okay. Oh, yeah, lots of posts. No new comments can be posted. That's a shame.
Yeah.
I'm sure if Ted wanted to go through the comments to see if anyone did ask that question, he would, but... we are live after all, and you don't want to sit. You guys don't want to sit here and watch us looking at our screens trying to find comments, like just scrolling through. You don't need that.
And I'm not going to go away and do it, and then come back on the next episode
next week.
and tell you. No,
I think you should.
It's done with. It's gone now.
Okay,
it's gone with. It's gone. It's gone. She's gone.
Speaking of gone,
the problem was gone. Yes,
Speaking of gone, right?
Yes.
Am I the arsehole for not personally informing my dad every time we run out of milk? Because the milk is gone. That's a...
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
I'm a wasted talent on you, I swear. So...
Yeah.
Hello, Reddit. I, 21, am currently living with my parents at home to save on a room and board for college. I am a full-time student, work 20 plus hours a week, and consistently contribute to the household chores and tasks. As a family, we drink a lot of milk and go through it pretty fast. My mum, 53F. Thanks for putting the F in there. I appreciate that. As
These
all,
days.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So it is 2025 after all. My mum has always been the one to get the groceries, but since I got my license in high school, I have as well. And it is rare for my dad to get the family groceries.
Driving license, not grocery license.
Not a grocery license, no, a driving
Yeah, fair
license.
enough.
Yeah. I mean, how weird would that be if you needed to get a license to buy groceries?
Yeah, that would only happen in Starmer's Britain.
Yeah, right. My dad, 50M, is very picky about food, and for as long as I can remember, gets very upset if he doesn't have the right drink with his food. If we have pizza, he needs a Coca-Cola. If we have any dessert, he needs milk. Growing up, when we ran out of one of these drinks, it would upset him. Sometimes he would slam the front door as he left. Sometimes he would leave without any word. My mum was always hurt. My mum was always hurt by it, and it always confused me. Why couldn't he just drink water? Well, it snowed badly this week,
Yeah.
but I was able to dig my car out of the snow and pick up some drink items. I got juice and some milk. Fast forward to yesterday. Mum got sick, but works remote. We ran out of milk as well as other items making breakfast and coffee. So I updated our grocery app. I get out to my car and it won't start. She was running a meeting, so I text to let them know that I needed to take her car, which was fine with her. It's 9 a.m. and my dad is still asleep. He was off work. It's 11:30 and I've been enjoying a lovely day at work. My dad hasn't responded to any of the family messages, but I received this text from him. Can you please let me know when you drink the last of the milk so I can plan accordingly for my meals? He hadn't acknowledged my car troubles or that I was at work. He woke up 4 hours after the rest of us on his day off, which is fine. So I respond, hello, good morning to you too. I understand that you're frustrated. Mum and I are planning to go to the grocery store after work today. I made it to work safely and I'm having a nice day. Hope you enjoy your day off. He responds, I'm sorry if that sounded rude. I didn't mean for it to. I would really like your help with that issue, in bold letters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you made it safe to work. Have a good day. Fair enough. I followed up by sharing the updates I made to our grocery app. But Reddit, this is what I wanted to say to him. Thank you. I'm not sure what the issue is. I was raised not to cry over spilled milk or empty milk bowls. I am not responsible for helping you plan your meals. When we run out of my favorite drinks, I drink water and then go on with my day because they are a luxury, not an essential to survive. That's more than most people have in this world, and I'm grateful. Are you? I always want to give the benefit of the doubt, and be open-minded. I always want to give the benefit of the doubt and be open to the idea that I am missing something, but I feel like there's something wrong with this behavior. So Reddit, am I the arsehole for drinking the last of the milk and not telling my dad immediately when he is fully capable of buying groceries himself or drinking water when it's needed?
Well,
interesting one from Eleanor Penrose.
I mean, on the face of it, it seems like a lot of it to do about very little.
Yeah,
yeah.
My parents used to be a bit like that. My parents would, I'll say my parents, my stepdad mainly, was very much like, well, if you use the last of the something, you should tell us so we can buy more. Or the one that used to happen every now and again, because we were kids and we didn't know what else to do, you'd end up putting an empty milk bottle back in the fridge because we didn't know what bins were, apparently. So that was something he'd get frustrated with. But yeah, it was never such a big deal that he couldn't then plan ahead or anything like that. I mean, my stepdad got quite proficient at predicting how we would behave when it came to food items or drink items in the house. I mean, we didn't buy Coca-Cola or anything like that. It was literally milk and squash, and that was it. That was our drink choices, or coffee and tea if you were into that. When I was a young child, I was not into tea and coffee. But yeah, that was literally it. So it was never really that big a deal for us. But yeah, he would get a bit frustrated if somebody finished something and didn't say they'd finished something. Which it does make sense, because you just think, especially if you want to, if you're planning to do something, with that food or drink item. Like, I don't know. I mean, the number of times like I've finished the milk that's in my fridge, and then the next day I just go, I really fancy a Yorkshire pudding for dinner, or toad in the hole, and then I go, I can't do that because I finished all the milk. I don't have any milk in, and I need that to make this, to make dinner. But at which point I don't get pissy about it. I just go and buy more.
Yeah.
I know where the shop is. I can go to the shop and buy milk. I'm a grown-ass adult. I know how to do these things.
Yeah. Well, I suppose you got a few people in the household, and also the thing with this is that it's always going to fall to one person that will finish something.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, but that doesn't take into account how much of something that somebody else has had. So actually, what you could do, in theory, is you could eat. You could eat. Well, I mean, let's say there's a pint of milk.
Yep.
You could leave a quarter of a pint. Now you haven't finished it.
Nope.
But you can be pretty sure that the next person will be finishing it. You could have a packet of ham, 10 slices. You could eat 9 slices.
Yep.
You're not the person who finished it.
Literally,
this is like Jenga.
Yeah.
But for food and drink.
That's literally the kind of thing that my brothers and I started doing. Was you'd literally leave like the smallest drop of milk, like just enough for someone to make a cup of coffee with, or a cup of tea with. And again, my stepdad did cotton on to that quite quickly, and he was just like, "Who's left just a drop of milk in there?" And we'd all just sit there and go, "But we didn't finish it."
Yeah.
You don't want us to finish it? We didn't finish it. So
yeah.
There we are.
So I think that is a fair comment. But the thing is, it can be the same with the waste bin, though.
Yeah.
You start putting. You don't want to be the one to empty it.
Yeah.
You just higher and higher and higher. It's amazing how high you can get a pile of rubbish.
Playing Buckaroo Bin. I used to play Buckaroo Bin when we were in the organisation. Remember when we go to like the athletic events in Leicester, and they'd all the cadets would be in the stands, and they just keep putting stuff in the bin. Right. Even when the bin's clearly overflowing, they just keep trying to push stuff in, and you just sit there watching them. And like as soon as it all overflowed and then spilled out, we'd just be there like Buckaroo. It was great. Anyway,
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, comments are going off again, which is great.
Oh, excellent.
Which is
in the chat.
So, right, David's been in said, the dad, the lazy arsehole. I would go wake him up and tell him if he was like that. I mean, yeah, you can go absolute vindication on that one and just be like, oh, you want me to tell you when I finished it? Cool, I'm going to come wake you up at 6 a.m. then as soon as I finish the milk and say the milk's finished. Just to piss you off. Ruby said, why can't the dad go pick some up? It's on the list for later, so 2 options. Dad picks it up or he waits till the kid gets home and mum goes shopping. Yeah, exactly. And that's what this person has said in this post here. It's this person is quite clearly a grown-ass adult. They should be able to manage going to the shop to buy, especially on their day off. Just go to the shop and buy milk if that's what you want. It's really not that difficult. David then came back and said, Ruby, the dad is a lazy git. Yep, absolutely. Chrissy says, hi, Chrissy, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Then right, David, then Chrissy with exclamation marks, then hi, Ruby.
Excellent.
Maybe I shouldn't have read those last few.
No, that's just people saying hello.
Yeah. Hi, welcome. Welcome back.
Yes, but welcome to you all. Whether you turn up a couple of hours in.
Say an hour and a half into it. Yep.
Yeah, I know. Ridiculous.
That's all right. Don't worry about that. We can't. Yeah. We won't shame you for turning up an hour and a half late.
Yes.
You're not really late though. It's a live stream. You can always go back and watch it later.
Well, that's true. Yes, but thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah. We just went around the room introducing ourselves and our favourite. No, it's fine. But yeah, no, I think the dad's the arsehole.
Yeah, no, the dad's absolutely an arsehole in that scenario. Just like, okay, you've run out of milk. Get over yourself.
Yeah, he seems to be getting a bit too upset about his drinks with his food and his what he has when and all that sort of business. And you know what? if you think you're going to run out of milk, just buy more milk. It's not the most expensive thing in the world.
No,
If
exactly.
you end up with a bit of milk left over, well, that's just bonus milk, isn't it?
Yeah, bonus milk.
Yeah. You can make a rice pudding with it.
One of my favorite sayings when people overreact to really small stuff is just to say something like, "You are just the right amount of upset about this." Yeah. Again, just to try and piss them off a little bit more, because you're just like, you just overreact. It's that backhanded. You're overreacting. Calm the hell down. It's milk. You know, don't cry over finished milk.
Yeah.
So, because the milk wasn't spilled. Anyway, you didn't need me to explain that. Anyway,
No, I didn't.
God, people are chatting away. Read as much as you wish. Thanks, I will. We will. Don't forget Bex. We said hi to Bex ages ago.
Yeah.
You know, hi Bex again. If you're feeling left out.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Sorry, my nap went a little long. I had a nap earlier on. Yeah, I had a little nap earlier on. I completely missed my tutorial for my university course.
Oh.
I'll catch up with it later, though. It was recorded, thankfully, so I'll watch it later.
Yeah.
Well, I've been having a bad day. A nap would have been great. And Bex, we got you back. Yeah. So again, probably didn't need to read that last one.
No.
I commented, but you didn't read again. What did you say? Where? Seriously, I'm looking back through comments and don't know what you said. I think you should ask, because the last comment we got from you, Bex, was, I think you should ask in the comments whether or not she is actually ugly. And then I've got nothing else from you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to blame your internet connection.
Yeah. Something's going wrong there.
Everything's working fine on my end.
Yeah, you're typing stuff and it's just going into nothingness.
Yeah. Are you actually pressing the send button? That's the question. I remember those days when I first started out in IT. You'd be talking to, I'd be doing some support for somebody, and they'd be like, "My email isn't getting delivered," and you'd be like, "Did you even press the send button?" And they'd be like, "Oh, didn't think of that." Yeah. Anyway.
Hang on. Beck says Ted has obviously filtered my comments out.
Well, obviously.
Well, clearly. I mean, that's the only possible explanation, isn't it? That's why it can't be seen on the screen. It can't be seen by anyone. Nobody can see Bex's comments, can they?
I mean, I can see the last one she's put in. I said, "Dad is the arsehole. It's not like she doesn't contribute or help out." Well, I've just gone onto the YouTube page to have a quick look, and I can't see it there. Yeah. And I can't see it in the history in the streaming app. So
yeah, sounds like a Bex problem to me.
Sorry, definitely a you kind of problem, Bex.
Should we have another one?
Yeah, you got one ready.
Well, I have, in fact. And this is it's another. Am I the arsehole?
Wonderful. Here we go.
I've given up on trying to say asshole.
Yeah,
it just doesn't come naturally, does it?
Doesn't come naturally in a British accent. Yeah.
Yeah. Am I the asshole for telling? Arsehole. Yeah. Am I the arsehole for telling my husband's parents to stop calling? I'm going to start that all over again. Am I the arsehole?
Cut and action.
Cut and splice. Am I the arsehole for telling my husband's parents to stop telling people my name is Catherine, and for embarrassing them in front of friends? What? My name is Ryn. That's Ryn, if anybody can't see that. My name is Ryn, just Ryn, not Catherine. But ever since my in-laws have met me, they've gotten the idea, gotten isn't a word, they've gotten the idea that my actual name is Catherine, and Ryn is just a nickname. I have asked them not to introduce me or tell people it's my name, but they always go back to it. My husband and I took a small break from them when it continued. They apologized and seemed to be doing better. But then, for my mother-in-law's birthday, we were invited to celebrate with them, and a couple of her friends came up to me and asked if I was Catherine. They said mother-in-law talked all about me. I decided to get a little bit jokey instead of annoyed and played up on it, saying mother-in-law is so forgetful and that I was so sorry she told them the wrong name. I'll need to write my name on everything she owns so they don't forget. Her friends found it funny, but told her it was weird that she gave them the wrong name. She and father-in-law came up to me close to the end of the party, and I told them to stop telling people my name is Catherine, and they need to accept that my name isn't up to them. I think that's a fair point.
That's a fair comment, yeah.
I would say that's a fair point. They claim I was rude. And that it was awful of me to try and embarrass them in front of their friends by joking with the mother-in-law's friends. My husband told them they should have listened, but they are saying I took it too far, and maybe I did. Am I the arsehole?
No, definitely not.
No.
Definitely not.
I think that's a pretty open and shut one.
Yeah, open and shut case.
Yeah.
End of stream. No, just kidding.
Yeah. No, it's open and shut. You're not the arsehole, so for crying out loud, Catherine, calm down.
Calm the fuck down, Catherine. It's like, I mean, I get it. It is annoying when people call you by a name that isn't actually your name. You know, unless you've specified that that's what you want to be addressed as.
Have you ever been called something that's not your name?
Many times.
Apart from the obvious, you know.
Many times.
C-bombs and such like.
Yeah. I've had cock jockey before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I think that was someone just actually being aggressive towards me.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. No, it happens all the time. So, you know, not many people know my real name, obviously. But I get called Chris quite a lot.
No.
Chris is not my real name.
No.
Not even close to it. But that's happened multiple times. I don't know why. It just happens. Yeah, no, I get it, but it is annoying. But even I've never had it like that where people just repeatedly called me the same thing.
Yeah, especially if you've already dealt with this at the beginning.
I say you nip it in the bud and it's done. You know, you go. My name's not Chris. My name's actually.
Yeah, exactly. And this would be a day one conversation.
Yeah.
This would be a conversation with the husband, not even the husband, when the husband was just a boyfriend. He would have said to his parents, "Oh, yeah,
hi,
she's all right. I met this girl. She's all right, except her name is Rin for some reason." And they'd have said, "What do you mean? What, like short for Catherine?" I'd be like, "Fuck me, no.
Just Rin.
Actually, it's just Rin.
Yeah, just
I
Rin.
mean, but she's okay. I mean, don't
hold it against her.
Don't hold it against her, right? And just call her Rin. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?" That's how that conversation went. In my head, that's how that conversation went.
That's how it should have
gone. What?
That's how it should have gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it should have gone.
Yeah. Her name is not Catherine, it's Rin. You know, it's just Rin. But it's I've seen it a few times where like people who are named Jeff get referred to as
My
Jeff.
name is Jeff.
My name's Jeff. They get called Jeffrey, but again, they just go, no, my name is not Jeffrey, it's Jeff. Just Jeff.
Yeah.
Nothing else. You know, no free.
Yeah. The thing is, I think, no, not like fair enough, right? You make the mistake once. But I don't know. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because the thing is, if somebody's got a name that's actually a shortened name, but they've just got that as their name, that's kind of a bit like that's a them problem, right? Well, it's not them actually; it's their parents. But somebody's fucked up, right? Yep. Let's be honest. Because do you know what? If you're going around saying, "Oh, my name is," just trying to think of an example that doesn't involve anybody I know. Hang on. Let's say, for example, you say, "Oh, my name is my name is Penny."
Yeah.
And people go, "Oh, okay, and Penelope," and they go, "No, it's just Penny."
Just Penny.
Well, that's just annoying. I mean, it was unnecessary, wasn't it? Their parents are at fault. They should have just named the child Penelope, and then they can choose to call her Penny.
Yeah,
Don't call it Penny. That's a ridiculous thing to do. That's my view on that one. Anyway, let's go. Should we have a look at the chat and see what's being said there? David's been in the chat. Now, I think they're still dealing with this whole message thing with Beck.
Yeah.
David says, yeah, we did see it, but it's been removed from the YouTube chat for some reason. So maybe it flashed up and it went away again, which is odd. Ruby said, David, I still have it on my end.
Talking about
I think you can get some cream for that. I think it'll be fine. And then said the YouTube doing the YouTube things. Fair enough. I don't. How weird, Ruby. No one can really pronounce my name, so I just roll with it.
I mean, it's difficult to get Ruby wrong. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. This sort of thing is a nightmare as a teacher, says Bex. Well, I imagine it is, because lots of stupid names for children.
I mean, there's definitely a trend, isn't there, where, like I say, people use the shortened version of a name as the actual name. There is a YouTuber that I watch, actually, called JT Kelly. He has a couple of reaction channels and some other like vlog type stuff that he does. But apparently his name is actually JT, the letters J and T. He doesn't have, that's not short for anything. His name is JT. And it's like, I was like, were your parents high? Or are they just that lazy they couldn't figure out what to actually name you? I mean, JT, Jeffrey, Trevor,
And why JT? Why not TJ? Like TJ Hooker?
TJ Hooker, yeah. Maybe that's why they decided not to do that, because they thought he'd get bullied for being like TJ Hooker.
That's weird.
That's very weird.
But there's lots of things you could have an example of that. Like for example, Archie. Well, the name could be Archibald, but then you change it to Art. You just make it. You make the name Archie. Well, that's wrong. You've done a disservice to your own child. Don't do that.
True.
Yeah. So yes, I can imagine it is an absolute nightmare. Feel free to give us examples of stupid names.
CJ is a stupid name.
That very true.
Yep.
Although, I mean, but then again, that's a pseudonym because you were actually christened Bumble Crumpet.
Yes.
And that's a bit of a strange name, but at least that's what it is in full.
I am Christ Jesus.
Dave's in, and he said, David says, I can't believe that someone could get confused with your name, CJ.
I don't know who this Colin person is.
No, I know.
Colin doesn't even sound the same.
I know, terrible.
I mean, Chris doesn't sound the same as CJ either, so...
No, that's right.
Yeah, anyway.
Is that a picture of a frog? Or
It's a monkey doing the old see no evil.
Oh, I see, okay.
It could be a frog. Could be a brown frog.
Yeah.
The Mexican staring frog of southern Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
If anyone gets that reference, post it in the comments.
Yeah. David?
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't call the child Dave, would you?
But again, I'm sure someone has.
Well, yeah, I mean, somebody calls children all sorts of stupid things. You call them like Forest and Leaf and Budgerigar and shit like that. What's the stupid name I heard the other day? Kia, that was it. Anyway, yes. So I completely think that this person, my opinion is that this person is, I've forgotten what it was now, is not the arsehole.
Okay.
I think, in fact, and this is a bit of a curveball, I think that Rin's parents are the arseholes.
Parents of the arseholes. Okay.
Yeah, didn't see that coming, did you?
No, I get. Yeah, I mean, I would if it was me in Rin's position, they just refused to call me by my actual name, or the name I'd asked them to address me as. I'd just never see them again.
Yep.
I wouldn't care what relation they are to me. Oh, you're my in-laws. Well, you're now the outlaws. See ya.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See what I did there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I don't know why she just doesn't call them by different names. That's the way to deal with that problem, isn't it?
That's it. That's the petty way to deal with that. Just call them by random stupid names.
Yeah. But like stupid things. Not like Bert and Ernie. Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, Bert and Ernie.
Yeah. Bert and Ernie.
Princess Consuela Banana Hammock.
Yeah, and Robson and Jerome. Just change it every time you see them. Just call them a different double act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waldorf and Statler from the Muppets.
Yeah. Penn and Teller.
Tango and Cash.
Little and Large.
Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah. Salt and Pepper. Fish and Chips.
Fish and Chips.
Law and Order.
Bacon and Eggs.
Special Victims Unit.
That's a SVU. You okay over there?
Yeah, just tickled it. Yeah, tickled a bit. That's why I'm a special victim.
Yeah. Anyway, Bex has come in with
tickled my unit.
Tickled your unit. your special victims unit.
Yeah.
Some students have really long names that are hard to pronounce, so they have an English translation for which doesn't appear on the register because it's not their name. So where I work, I actually work for an international company, and we have a lot of dealings with people in Hong Kong and Singapore, and somehow the culture developed that they would just anglicize their names, so they would just choose an English name. To make it easier for everybody else, and that's just become the culture, and that's how they're addressed and all that stuff. And I just wonder, actually, if I ever get to go out there, I just want to ask them. I'd be like, do you just there's a guy called Norman who I talk to quite a lot. I love Norman; he's great. His real name is not Norman. It is, a Chinese name.
Right.
But I just want to ask him. I'm like, does everyone call you Norman in the office, or do they go by something, or do you go by your actual name because it's local? I just haven't got around to asking the question because it's not really that important, but I am interested if that's the case. But obviously I just call him Norman. But again, it's that none of them have ever come to me and said, "Oh no, I'd prefer if you called me my actual name," and I'd be like, "Cool, just say it to me. You might have to say it to me a few times."
Yeah.
For me to get used to it. But I mean, I remember when I was younger in the organisation, I went on a summer camp once, and we had one of the cadet NCOs there. He goes, "Oh, my name is such and such." I won't actually name him. My name is such and such. But if you don't know how to pronounce that, you can just call me this. And it was like the first 4 letters of his last name, and that's what you wanted everyone to call him. But I was like, no, I've got that. That's cool. That's easy enough. It wasn't a difficult name. I think it was more. I think in that case, I thought it was more of a he wants to be called this shortened version because he thinks it's cool.
Yeah.
I never did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's difficult because if it's not something that's you're well used to, then it's very easy to forget it because you just don't even that sort of thing you've got to write down phonetically.
Yeah.
And then even then you're just like, well, I can't even understand what I've written.
Yeah.
It still doesn't make sense. I mean, how did even if you write, like you're trying to write something that, well, if you've got an African name, you can't write that down. How do you write down? I mean,
Jesus Christ.
Seriously though, there is a limit, and it's like, for example, things that are so far removed that it genuinely makes it difficult to comprehend. Like you could say it to me like 20 times, and I won't be able to say it back because I just don't have that kind of diction or whatever it is.
The thing is, no one is ever going to say their name 20 times to me because I do that thing. You get 3 attempts, You say it once, you go, "Oh, sorry, what was that?" And then they say it again. You're like, "No, I still missed it." And they say it again, and you're like, "Okay, then, Bob."
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, no. The first time.
Okay,
Like,
okay then, bud,
sorry, I didn't
buddy.
quite catch that. Second time. Sorry, what was it again? Right. The third time, if you get it, great. If you don't get it, you're like, okay, I'm never going to talk to you ever again.
I'm never going to talk to you. If I run into you at the water cooler, I'm just going to say, "Hey, buddy, what's going on? What's going on, my guy?" I'm never going to use your name.
I will avoid that person until the end of my career.
That's it, like the plague. Good. Ruby said, "Bex, that sounds like a nightmare." That's obviously down to the long names. And then David said, "My granddad had so many grandchildren, he called us all Blue." I remember watching a film, I think it's called The Pacifier, with Vin Diesel. And he's basically like some Secret Service agent or spy or something like that. And he ends up like looking after kids. And he's like, right, rather than having to remember your name, I'm just going to call you Red 1, Red 2, Red 3, and Red Baby. And I was like, cool. Then I feel like that's a great way to learn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, who needs a real name? I'm just going to call you 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, I think I would have difficulty with that. Yeah, if I was a teacher and had 30, but then you might have more than one class or something. It just gets ridiculous. I can't remember. I'll sit in a meeting with like, if it's got like 4 people I've never met before, I'll try and write down the names, and then I'll forget because I lose focus anyway. I'm looking out of the bloody window. And then I can spend the entire meeting trying to match up who they are and looking at the meeting invite to work out who's who.
I've done that. I've looked at I've like opened the invite for my calendar just to figure out who's in the meeting.
Yeah, and by the time I've finally mapped out who's who, and kind of what they look, and I've kind of worked out who they are, meeting's finished. Yeah, right. The whole thing was pointless. We'd be better off just going, look, we're meeting now. Just let's not even try and don't expect me to remember who you are, and I'll probably nod at you in a corridor at some point. Yeah, and hopefully never see you again. Bex has been in the chat again. She said, "Remember Prince? Oh, Prince, yeah. Remember Prince who changed his name to a symbol? He did. So." Then referred to as the artist formerly known as Prince.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was because his name was a symbol.
Yeah, he changed it to a symbol.
What was the one I mentioned to you the other week? Kanye West has officially changed his name to Ye.
Yeah,
and it's just Y-E, but it's pronounced Ye.
Yeah.
Like, oh, come on, why?
No, Ye, isn't it Ye?
It's Ye. As in short for Kanye.
Yeah, Kanye. Kanye.
Kanye.
I heard
Kanye West.
I heard a child talking about another child. I'm going to disguise it slightly, but it does involve a real name,
right?
And they were talking about Jake One.
Who?
Jake One. Now, I didn't know what they were talking about, and for some reason, I was assuming that this was there's Jake One and there's Jake Two. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Right. That's where my head immediately goes to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, why is there Jake One and Jake Two? And yeah, fair enough. There might be more than one kid called Jake. Yeah. But no, it's one kid called Jake One. Jake One.
Okay.
Yeah. Not like Jake One, O-N-E, or...
Yeah, his whole first name is Jake One.
Yeah, but it's something with a Q in it or something.
Yeah.
But it got me really confused. I can't be doing that. Don't confuse me. Just have a proper name. Call yourself Norman.
Don't ever...
If in doubt, maybe I should just start calling everybody Norman. I'll be like, it's good enough for the Chinese, right? It's good enough for you.
Don't ever watch American football in that case, because there are some names in American football. Because you said Jaquan. What immediately came to my head is there's an NFL player called Saquon Barkley.
Oh, okay.
But there's loads of them like that. It's it's just what it is. What it is. I don't know why.
That's easier though, because you can say, "Oh, number 10 needs to up his game a bit." Yes.
Ruby's just said the NFL is full of fun names. There are a lot of fun names in NFL, but like I say, it's it is what it is. That's just culture now. There are some names out there that we would never consider to be an actual name.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my favorite wide receivers in NFL, former Packer, Devontae Adams. I was like, what kind of name is Devontae? But that's his name. Okay. You deal with it. It's just his name.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going up to him and just calling him Derek. Yeah,
no, absolutely.
I don't like the name Devontae. I'm going to call you Derek. He'd probably get really pissed off at me and kill me because, he's a very athletic NFL player and much stronger than I am and could probably, throw me, halfway down a football field.
Yeah.
So, you just kind of get on with it, don't you? There are some funny names out there, and
I've got no idea what a wide receiver is. It sounds like some sort of prison slang for something.
Okay, fair enough. Well, don't worry about it. I'm not going to sit here and try and teach you about American football stuff because I know you're not interested. So.
So anyway, there we go.
There you go. Okay,
what
bye.
have you got for us?
You want another one from me?
Well, that's one more. Have you got a short one? That's what she.
As a matter of fact, Ted, I do. Yes. Just ask my girlfriend. Okay, this is a short one. That's what she said. That's what she said. Oh, here's a short one. Am I the arsehole for criticising my sister's choice of name for her baby?
Oh, we're back to names again.
Yep.
Oh, fun.
Yep. My sister just had her first child, a girl, and she named her. So she and her husband chose the name Isis after the Egyptian goddess. Wasn't Isis I think Isis was a cat from an episode of Star Trek as well. But anyway, I politely pointed out that the name is also the name of a terrorist organization, and that I thought the kid might get bullied or teased for having that name once she goes to school. My sister totally blew up, accusing me of interfering in her life and saying that her daughter's name was her own choice. I wasn't trying to be rude or hang on a minute. No, the daughter didn't get a choice in that. That's what you named her. Yeah. Anyway, I wasn't trying to be rude or judgmental, but now I think that I ought to have not brought it up. After all, it is her kid, not mine. Am I the arsehole? I don't know. There's a part of me that's going, just leave it alone.
At what point did she point out this unhappy accident of the name also being a terrorist organization?
It doesn't say.
Oh,
it does not say. But I'm also thinking to myself, I think everyone knows that ISIS was the name of the terrorist or a terrorist organization from wherever they're from. What were they, Afghanistan or Iraq? One of the two. Anyway, either way, we all know, everyone knows, it's common knowledge. If you don't know that, then fine. But also at the same time, it's just a name. Leave her alone.
Yeah. Who are you saying that to?
To this person who's...
Right,
are they the arsehole? I don't think they're an arsehole.
I don't think it's a case of leave them alone. I think it sounds to me like somebody. Well, it maybe they've fallen out a bit because the immediate reaction was probably similar to mine, which was what?
Yeah. Wait a minute. What?
Yeah. which is bound to get somebody back up. Okay.
Okay.
But maybe I don't know. I mean, if somebody said, "Oh, I'm going to call my child Isis," I mean, I think maybe you might say, "Well, actually, just I mean, just a word of advice." But in more recent times, ISIS has been known. It's like, yeah, I think a quiet word to the wise is fine. I don't think that makes you an arsehole.
No, I don't think it makes you an arsehole at all.
Mm.
But I mean, my head's going all over the place now. I'm sitting there going, well, what if I decided to call my kid Adolf?
Mm.
You know, I know someone's going to say something, and I'll just be like, but it's just a name. I would never call my kid Adolf, by the way. Just saying.
No, why not? It's just a name.
Because I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm not stupid. But yeah, but you can easily take that kind of that stance on it and just be like, I'm not an idiot. You know,
Yeah.
I know who Adolf Hitler was. You know, but I like the name Adolf. It doesn't mean that I'm a supporter of Adolf Hitler. You know, or
Yeah, fair enough.
you could go down. You could end up down a very deep rabbit hole.
Yeah.
What she said. But yeah, at the same time, I'm like, you know, it's just a name. Just leave him alone.
I mean, the thing is, and there might have been an awful. I don't know how many Adolfs were knocking about being born in Austria at any particular time.
No
but
idea.
what I do know is, if it's an unusual name, this is always going to be a slight pitfall because you never know what's going to happen in the future that might affect or involve one person with that name.
Exactly.
Now, they might think to themselves, okay, we called our child ISIS, okay, but that's fine because actually even ISIS changed their name to IS, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Yeah, they did. So it's like, okay, we've got to wait for. And then the next thing you know, there'll be some school shooter called ISIS.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh no,
Yeah.
we've done it again. Yeah. there'll be some pervert that, you know, keeps 3 generations of children in a basement. Or something really, really bad. You know, every now and again there's a really bad thing.
Mm.
And they'll be called ISIS. We're like, oh, our luck when it comes to choosing names, ridiculous.
Yeah. David has said he doesn't think that she is the arsehole. She's just trying to be honest with her sister. Beck said, I think it's fair to let her know her baby will share the name with a terrorist organization. Ruby says, I mean, now people with the name Karen are kicking themselves. Is any name safe? I mean, that's a great question.
It's good. It's fair play. Yeah.
God help you if your name is Karen. So...
Yeah. Although the thing is, Karen is kind of okay. You can get away with that. You can still be Karen, and people aren't necessarily going to think that you're evil. Adolf, not so much.
No.
Moira, not so much.
Moira?
Yeah. Moira Himley.
That was Myra.
Myra.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, okay, yeah. Myra Himley.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, these are names that just very unfortunately are not the most common names. And if you got it, you're kind of screwed because it's the same name as somebody who's done something pretty notorious.
There's definitely a stigma behind it, isn't there? And
there's a little bit of a stigma attached to Hitler.
That's a small stigma.
Yeah. In fact, the more I hear about him, the more I don't like the sound. Yeah. So there's a bit of a stigma, and if you got a stigma against a uncommon name, then you are a bit screwed.
I would love to see statistics on things like that. So, you know, we've said about Adolf. So I'd love to see, you know, come like the end of the Second World War, how quickly that name dropped out of favor among newborns. I mean, I imagine it was pretty damn quick. But Hitler, Myra. What about, you know, I mean, okay, what about Keir?
Yeah.
Since July last year,
down the drain, isn't it?
Well, say since July last year, has the popularity of that name gone up or down? And I'm really interested to understand those kind of stats.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? Okay, but yeah, I'm really interested to understand, what the trends around things like that. But even like, just the name George. When George Bush came into power, did that name grow in popularity? But then did it suddenly drop off again? Because of other things, and David's just said Google it. Well, I'm not Googling it. I know someone who is Googling it though.
Yeah, you might do. Although the thing is, we got Dave back in the chat. He should be googling things on our behalf.
I'll say, you are master Googler, David. Google, go Google yourself.
Yes. So I have found something. I think.
Okay.
Okay. So in total births of Adolf.
You're willing to share
by country. Yeah, you can do.
Okay.
Here we go.
It doesn't look good. You might not need to zoom out a little bit.
It does not look good. Whoops. Oh, no, you can't see that.
No.
Okay, let's move that. What if I do this? Does that help?
I can't see what you're seeing. I can just see the web page.
Oh, okay.
That's why we share the app and not the screen.
Yes.
So, anyway, moving on.
No, I've done the window. Oh, you see, I can see what's happening.
Yeah, I can see something that says the face of restoration.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's get past these technical difficulties.
Yeah.
I do. Oh no, you can go back to it.
Oh, go. Oh, right.
You should be able to go back to it. There we go. Okay, that's not made any difference whatsoever. But anyway, the point is, I've got a list of different countries.
Oh, that's good. Leave it there.
And it says how many there were between certain dates, which aren't very useful actually, because it says between 1900 and 2016 in Czechoslovakia.
That doesn't help us.
No, but if you want to know, check Adolfs since 1900. There were 2,632. Switzerland.
Yep.
I mean, they're just sitting on the fence. 1,752 adults.
There you go.
Yeah. USA, and bearing in mind this goes back to 1880.
USA.
Yeah. I mean, bearing in mind, Germany was, there's quite a lot of Germans in the USA.
Yeah.
Certainly there were at some point. 448. So it's not very many at all.
No.
It's not the most popular name out there. And I think that's the reason why it has stuck like that. I think if Adolf was actually called Richard, I don't think there would be the stigma.
I was just going to say,
Richard, but not that Richard.
Can you look at the next stat down for Germany?
Germany, yes.
Between 2000 and 2022.
Yeah. 2000?
Between the year 2000 and 2022, 369 males named Adolf.
369. Yes.
And 2 girls named Adolf as well.
Oh, gosh. Yes, I think it. Yeah, it's a strange anomaly with that.
Yeah.
Ah, so there we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's not as unpopular as I thought it was.
Absolutely.
I genuinely thought it was one of those names that come the end of the Second World War, it will just die out.
Yeah.
Like Jesus. Actually, no, Jesus is still a name, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jesus.
Yeah. It's but then as soon as we've gone into a new century, it's gained new life, albeit only 369. Yeah, and of course we don't. Genuinely, that's just children in Germany. We don't know what their background is because they might be, they might have a different ethnic origin themselves because they might be,
maybe
new to Germany from a family point of view,
maybe,
or however I have to say that. So they could be from somewhere completely different, but have a sort of I don't know. I mean, is it Austrian name? It's showing to be a Czech name here from the looks of those stats.
Yeah, but I'll say even in Austria, it's still got between 1984 and 2021, 85 people named or boys named Adolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Look at that. Every day's a school day. Like I say,
It
it's
is
clearly
indeed, yeah.
clearly not as unpopular as I thought it was.
Yeah.
Like I say, have a quick search for Keir. No, don't. It's fine. It's too fresh.
It's too raw.
Yeah,
That's
far
what it
too
is.
raw.
Too
Yeah.
raw. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Too soon. Yeah. So there we go. That's. I mean, I just think my advice would be steer clear of calling your children ISIS or Adolf.
Okay.
Although interestingly, Ira is a girl's name, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Can I think of any males named Ira? I know that there's a writer, a screenwriter called Ira Stephen Bear.
Right.
He was the head writer for Star Trek Deep Space Nine. That's the only reason I know it.
Okay.
Yeah, his name was Ira, or is Ira.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's another name of a terrorist organization.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any others. Who knows? Get in the comments.
Yes, get in the comments. Next week's show: terrorist organisations that are actually people's names from the year 0 to now.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your name? Is your name Adolf? Get in the comments. God, can you imagine if there was? That would be quite a coup, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Not military coup, obviously. But it would be if we had an Adolf in the comments. Is your name ISIS? Please do get in the comments, and maybe we owe you a deep apology for misjudging your name.
Is your name Al Qaeda?
It could be. It could. There might be somebody. You just never know, do you?
You just don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But but the thing is, it could happen to Is your name Fred West? Get in the comments. Is your name Harold Shipman? Get in the comments. Yeah.
Harold Shipman.
Yeah, maybe we could do a special on that. So get in the comments and let us know. I don't know what that special would look like. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's getting late. It is getting late.
It is late.
It's 19 minutes past 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gavin and Stacey have those names. Who are Gavin and Stacey?
Yes, this is true actually. So there are. I tell you what, Bex, stay in the chat and tell us what they are because I've forgotten.
Yeah.
So
I know Gavin and Stacey's a TV show, but what are we saying about their names?
It is a TV show, and there's two families basically that are brought together by marriage. From
of Gavin and Stacey, right?
Gavin and Stacey, yes. So Gavin's who's Gavin? Oh yeah, Gavin's family.
Yep.
Are called the Shipmans.
Right. Okay.
Okay, and Stacey's family. I've forgotten the surname. What's Stacey's family name? Yeah, but it's something similar.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Please say Please say Hindley. That's all I'm waiting for.
Oh, you know what? It's being slow. What is Sutcliffe? Yeah.
Gavin Shipman, Stacey West, Dawn and Pete Sutcliffe. Okay.
Oh gosh, I didn't know. What? West? Who's West?
Fred, you just said Fred West.
Oh yeah, I know. But who's? Oh, Stacey West.
Stacey West.
Are they West?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
I'm asking you. I'm asking Bex.
Oh, okay. I'll say
you've never seen it. There's no point in me asking you. I might as well ask the cat. What,
exactly.
Yeah.
Ask the fucking cat, Ted. It is a lie. I've seen like 10 minutes of Gavin and Stacey, and it was that who's the guy that basically does a talk show in America now.
Yes.
What's his name?
James Corden.
James Corden. And it was him talking about Cheveley services on the M4. And I was like, this is shit. And I turned it off.
Right.
Like, Cheveley services are the best motorway services in England. So fuck off.
Yeah.
I turned it off. Salem knows. He loves TV. Yeah. Salem the cat. What a hero.
There you go. Dave's back in. He says, Kira has a worldwide in 2023. What?
That's 2023 with 16,369. And in 2022, 10,502.
Yeah.
What's Kia? What's the reference there?
Well, I think he's referring to Kia as in the name. But he has put KIA.
Yeah, we're talking about Kia as in the person who leads this godforsaken country of ours, David.
Yes, that's right. So I don't know. Is that just a number of cars or people? And is that all the spellings, or have you auto corrected to KIA?
Kia. Yeah.
Kia. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's getting late.
Yes, it is getting late.
Can you tell from the delirium in our conversation?
Yeah. Yeah, so much as we're having a lot of fun talking about Hitler mostly, but yeah, let's move on. I think we've set up every. I have to say, I am looking forward, hopefully, to because I know that Mark Zuckerberg. So that's his name. Yeah, so he's kind of relaxed a lot of things on Facebook now. So maybe YouTube will follow suit. We'll never know, but I can definitely say that maybe this episode is going to be slightly flagged by some of the names that we've mentioned.
Yeah. just don't put auto captions on, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, I think it's time for us to remind you that you've got no chance whatsoever sending any kind of message or anything to CJ, as he's gone. He's gone off grid. He's off grid. He's off
social media.
He's off social media.
Fuck the brain rot. Just get off social media, everybody. Just stick on YouTube with quality content like the Tuesday show.
Yes, but you can DM me at Ted James Media. You should be able to also DM the show on Instagram and Twitter as well. But you could also email us on.
The delay there.
I had a little bit of gas then at really the wrong time. So I'll stop there again. But you could also email us at
CJ and Ted at thetuesdayshow.co.uk.
Correct.
I thought I'd put a comedy pause in there as well.
Okay. And so, until next time, thanks for being in the chat. Thanks for watching, and thanks for watching again later on. Until next Friday, goodbye.
See ya.